I'm just having a few technical difficulties with our guest, Wazzy. Unfortunately, we're going to have to abandon our YouTube with Wazzy um, because unfortunately he hasn't got enough followers on YouTube, it says. So we'll have to reconvene with Wazzy a bit later on. We will go over to TikTok. He's got heaps of followers over there at 8 o'clock. So if you're around, you want to see the interview with Wisey, come and watch it on there because, yeah, obviously YouTube's not playing the game, which is lovely. Now, um, just having a bit of a look here, making sure that's all sweet. Just talking to Wisey as we're going here. Tell us what's been going on this week for all those who are on board. Um, Again, for those who just tuned in, trying to get Wisey in here, having a little bit of trouble. So we're going to have to reconvene with Wisey at 8 o'clock on TikTok. So we're going to rock a solo one for this go round. And yeah, that's all we can do, unfortunately. The social media restraints are killing us. I haven't got any chats or anything here. I've got nothing. This thing's been a pain in the butt tonight. Um, Why wouldn't that one come up? I've got those top fans there, is that right? Can see you. These lives are a problem. Anyway, guys, sorry guys, we're just having a few technical difficulties here. Um, what's been going on in farm this week? We've been spreading mainly, spreading a little bit of trucking, all that's good stuff that we usually do every week. We're nearly getting the end of um, the spreading season. I've only got one paddock to go, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. But need a little bit more urea. I ran out with about half a run to go at my last job, which wasn't very nice. Anyway, it is what it is. Um, Obviously, this week's YouTube is up. The trip to Kingaroy for Sharpie, dedicated truck driver. He's done a great job with that. Go and check it out and chuck us a like and a subscribe and a comment. Make sure you give him well done in the comments because he's done a pretty good job, I reckon. And yeah, if you could hit the little bell notification on any on the subscription as well. Apparently, that means something. I'm still learning about the whole YouTube algorithm and whatever here, but yeah. Thank you very much if you've already subscribed and liked and all the rest. You're a dedicated subscriber to the channel. I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot. A little bit of trouble with the a little bit of trouble with the comments here. I can't see comments at all. I don't know what's going on. This thing's paying silly beggars tonight. There we go. Chat filter. Why would it have a goddamn chat filter? Hold on. Sorry. Sorry, guys. AC Henderson, what's going on? We've got our live thing here. Gavin, what's going on, man? Borgo Day. So the Borgo Open Day for those playing at home is coming up this week from Tuesday through to Thursday. So just have a look at the dates. I think it was the 9th through to the 11th. So that's when the Borgo Day is open, Gavin. For those, obviously, you're a bit too far away. um, but yeah, if you want to go and have a look at the Borgo Day, it's on from the 9th to the 11th in Albury, and then in Kelmscott, it's on the 18th and the 19th, was it? I've got it. It's all in that short. Go and check out the last short I did or in any of the reels. Um, yeah. So I had a bit of a look around because I was up in Albury anyway, Gavin. It was pretty good. There's pretty good range of stuff up there at the moment. Plenty of stuff to go and have a look at for sure. Um, It's just a bad time to buy anything, as everyone knows. Here's Wazzy. We've got Wazzy in the comments, but I can't get him on the thing. What a pain in the butt. Anyway, we'll get on to Wazzy on TikTok a little bit later on. So if he's happy to be there, jeez, there are already a bunch of weirdos in here. I don't know. Yeah. Which mate, the popcorn video is it sold as corn seed or sold as popcorn? I'm from WA where corn isn't much of a thing. Good question. C, Mr. Henderson. So popcorn is a seed. It grows on a cob just like corn, and it is essentially it's just a different type of corn. The corn generally, yeah, the popcorn generally yields about half as much as regular corn does, and obviously it's got a big, very big expansion rate as you saw in that video. And hold on a sec, my little thing keeps swiping down every time someone comments. And yeah, so that's basically what the popcorn is. It's sold for a lot more money than regular corn is, and usually about double or a little bit more. The reason we're taking it to Kingaroy, which is so far away, is because they're offering a very good premium for it up there. So that's where it ended up being. And yeah, so that's it's sold as popcorn seed. It's basically human consumption. I think they clean it up a little bit, and that's as far as it goes. From there, they just sell it. If you want to eat it, if you want to find it, I'm trying to think. There was a name for it. I couldn't tell you what it was if I wanted to, but there was there's a popcorn brand that uses exclusively from those guys. I'd have to find it. If you're interested, I might chuck it up in my post tab in YouTube later on. Lots of deleted messages. Thank you to my lovely wife for getting rid of all of those. HSV forever. I can get around that. Oh, yeah. So, what just logged on? What's your love bet? It's bet farming generally. Why are people being mean? I don't know. Hey Dan, what's going on, man? Sam's in overtime getting rid of all these freaking idiots. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of them in here. There's- Popbox, thank you. Popbox, Sharpie got it. Popbox is the brand. I'll pop it literally into the post later on, so you can go and find some if you want. They had some pretty good flavors there. Let's have a look. Popbox. Hey Tate, what's going on? No worries, Tony. I know you're always here and always lurking, so you're. I thought we better chuck in something for you, man. We're trying to, buddy, look after our supporters. If you're a supporter of the channel, if you chuck in an order, we'll generally chuck something else in for you. So just look at the flavors for pop box. Here you got sea salt, sweet and salty, light butter flavor, mega butter flavor, caramel crunch. Yeah, they're the flavors. I haven't tried any yet. We should order sometime and have a look, have a go, do a review, see what we reckon. We probably do it in 2 months when it's our own popcorn in there. There is someone behind me before test. Yes, it's my son. He's sitting on the computer behind me here. What? No, 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 no. That's all right. It's I was just telling other people about it. There we go. Straight to the heart. Did a good job with the video too. Thought the 220 would have had a gear stick in it for sure. No, I think if Sharpie had had his way, he probably would have had a gear stick in it. That's a bit of my baby, the automatics. I much prefer the automatics. So that's why we end up with them. I think there's nothing wrong with manuals. It's just one of those things you have to think about. That being said, it's not quite as snappy to drive. So I think my other two drivers would happily have manuals, but anyway, that's the way. So what's the rough price per ton for the corn? So the corn, regular corn goes for about, well, it's probably 400 bucks at the moment, 400 bucks per ton at the moment. The popcorn up there delivered, I think, is $950 per ton. So take about $150 off that. You're looking at $800. Um, yeah, it's about 150 $150 a ton in freight to get it up there. So you're back to $800. So basically, if I think we averaged 7.6 ton to the hectare of popcorn, and we averaged about 16 ton of corn. So while there was that sort of double effect, popcorn looked better. If you got a little bit more yield out of the regular corn, then it was essentially it come out on top. So at the moment, I think the regular corn is winning, but for a long time the popcorn was winning when the 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 cash wasn't as good for the regular corn. Yeah. Anyway, it's a bit of a novelty. These people up there don't take it every year. I don't think they're taking it next year. I don't know if I'm going to grow it next year. We were in discussions with another buyer to sell it to them. At this stage, we haven't locked anything in, so yeah, not sure how that's going to go. Samantha's still in overdrive here from people commenting silly. Have to ignore my shaking there. The wig. It almost looks like a wig, doesn't it? I'm getting a bit bald at the top, actually. I'm in need of a haircut. I'm in need of a haircut. The last person who did my haircut, they cut it short on the sides and then just left this way too long on the top. It's terrible. So I'm from Australia, Jay Mara, and we are farming YouTube is what we are. Go and check out our videos. We just put a one if you've just tuned in about delivering popcorn um, up to Queensland from where we are in New South Wales. So it's very interesting. Go and have a look. Send us a like and a subscribe if you want to see a bit more. Any other questions, guys? Chuck them up. Good bunch of people in here, even if there is a bunch of randos in here. I'm tempted to start bringing this back to just subscribers only. I think this is getting ridiculous. Uh, so we're about it's southern New South Wales down near Yarrawonga there, Jay. Yeah, as I said, you can find all this on the channel if you like. Hey Joanne, what's going on? Um, this week, what have we got planned for this week? I don't even know, to be honest with you. I got to. Well, it hasn't rained that much, Mum, so I might actually get my the posting that I was looking to get in around my house for the garden that I was working on at the start of this week. Managed to get one day before I got sent off onto 4 days of other jobs, but I'm hoping we might get that done tomorrow because it hasn't rained that much here today. We're up to about 4 mils today, which should have been about eight anyway, unless there's more on the way, which there may be on the radar. Have to go and have a look at that. But yeah, so that's my plan for the week. A little bit more bird spreading, as I said, and yeah, there's a bit of rain coming on Wednesday by the looks of it. So there's just a few storms coming across here tonight. Whether we'll get them or not sure. Yeah. I don't think I'm hitting any big time, to be honest with you, C. Anderson. I think we just get a lot of randos. Am I British? Does the regular corn go to stock feed? Yes, it does. Yeah. So there's two options for regular corn, Gavin. You got you've got the grit corn, which can go for like Doritos and things like that. And yeah, they sort of use them for cereal. Anything with cornmeal in it, you can use grit corn for. And then there's livestock corn as well, which we grow probably the bulk majority of that. As the pre-harvest maintenance getting long and any seasonal stuff needed. So obviously we've been working on the Dunstan bin. It's pretty much right to go. I think it's back together. I'm not. Yeah, I think it's hooked off too. So it's right to go. Through Jay's comment. And the headers, so the new headers in Hutchin and Pearson Finley, the old headers in Hutchin and Pearson Finley. It's had its pre-season. They're going to come out here probably in the next couple of weeks, I think. So I'll be excited to see them. You'll see them on the channel, I'm sure, coming up in the next few weeks. We're just getting, or hopefully getting, I don't know if it's been locked in yet, a protein meter for the new one. What's the John Deere protein meter, Marky? What's the John Deere protein meter called? It's someone will know. It's called a, yeah, green fire. Or no, that I'm thinking of stuff. John Deere protein meter. Harvest Lab is what it's called. Harvest Lab. So it will actually map the protein through the field. Putting on one header this year, hopefully should be quite good. We might be able to do prescription nitrogen with that next year. Is what the plan is. Um, Other than that, I've got a little bit of work to do on the ball to get it ready. A little bit of work on the header fronts when they get back here. I've got to stick some hopper extensions on the X9 for both of them. They're sitting in the shed. I'll get that done, and from there, yeah, that'll be pretty much it. Right to roll. A little bit of work on the trucks and whatever when the time comes, but they're generally pretty well up to date now. Anyway, the two blokes, the two drivers look after them pretty well. This harvest lab thing wasn't cheap, but I'm hoping just having those protein maps we can start to do a bit of nitrogen mapping and at least putting the protein where it needs to be. Putting the nitrogen to replace the protein is the plan. Yeah. What's your thoughts on cutting hay versus stripping? Is how prices are looking? Well, you can guarantee your ass, Will, that 90% of people will be very well. There's just going to be a heap of hay come out of this, particularly in the dry spots. Like I know, buddy, up north of us still haven't had that much rain. Um, so there'll probably be a power of wheat and hay and canola hay cut up there. Maybe not so much canola, but definitely wheat. Definitely wheaten because the price is pretty terrible. I think we're looking at about $300 at the moment a ton of wheat. Um, Probably going to be looking about 250 maybe for a ton of hay. So the hay will probably look better. It's just whether you can get rid of it. Yeah, so that's the plan. I think that's sort of how it will go down. Just really a matter of choice. Um, the price of wheat doesn't look good. Price of canola is promising enough, but it is on the slide, unfortunately. Um, yeah, not sure. It's not looking real good for grain at the moment. There's just a glut of it in the market, but that's the way she goes. Still a bunch of randoms in here. And a fair few people I know, so thanks very much for that. If you like the lives, chuck us a like. Don't forget, we're coming back with Wisey in on TikTok in about half an hour. I planned to have Wisey on. It didn't work out for Wisey, unfortunately, because his YouTube wasn't quite big enough to get on the YouTube live, which is silly. It must be a low thing because it Broden, when we did his one, was only like 50, I think, followers or something, and he managed to get in. So yeah. Anyway, a little bit it's just silly, but he is very popular on TikTok, so he will not have any issues over there. But yeah, guys, if you like the lives, make sure you like them. Send us a well, you can't send presents. You can send presents on the TikTok one, which seems to makes the algorithm go a bit further. Are you wearing pants? No, I'm never wearing pants, Maddie Down Under. I just they're optional, I believe. Any other questions, guys? Hit us up and let us know. I might got a fair few people on. Not a lot of people asking questions, but that's okay. Um, what else have I got to talk about? Can talk about merch all the time. Merch is always a good topic to talk about. So we if you haven't checked them out, go and check out our new t-shirts. I'll show you one of them here. sitting up on the thing here. It's one of our t-shirts. This is our American Iron Australian Farming t-shirt. That'll make more sense when I turn it around. The big quad track on it. I'm real happy with how these come up. They've been taken off quite as well as I thought they would have. Maybe people are a little bit anti-America, but at the end of the day, most of our machinery does come from America. We'll have to do an Australian made one next. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how they've come up. If you're interested, they're $45 on the website. Go and grab yourself one. They're pretty good shirt. The hat promotion we did, it was pretty good. I'll probably do another promotion or a big sale coming up sort of November, December, to try and get rid of a bit more merch before Christmas. So if you're interested, maybe hang out till then if you don't want them in the short term. I think a lot of southern dairy farmers and the beef boys will secure hay off the baileys. Yeah, I think so too. Well, it's yeah, um, people will just I think the emptiness that's there will always be filled in the hay market as soon as people start cutting it. It's only when there's a drought that it really brings open another sort of gap, of which I think everyone's getting plenty of rain at the moment. So yeah, that once that lot's filled, I mean, I'm sure you could sell it either way. There's people crying out for it everywhere, but yeah, whether it's a good thing, it'd be good for this year to chop a bit and get rid of it. But it's a bit like the corn. If you got a market for it or somewhere to take it, then it's all sweet. But yeah. Zeb said a landline with Jimmy on it being on yet. No, no, it hasn't. For some reason. They're a little bit weird like that, I think, landline. Keep looking out for it. It'll come out eventually. And yeah, I'm surprised you'll if you yeah, as I said, you haven't got that. You said to me earlier on you haven't got Facebook. I'll put it up in posts on YouTube when the time comes because I'm sure people will be interested to go and have a look at it, and you can see him under the scrutiny of the big TV. Yeah. Oh, the other thing I need to say, if you didn't get one of those Leathermans and you really want one, I have one more for sale on the website. They were $300 each plus postage. Go and grab Narrain Grain Leatherman. I haven't got one here anymore. They're all behind me there. If you're looking for a Leatherman, $300. Go and grab one. They get Narrain Grain, the Narrain Grain Leatherman with the Narrain Grain writing and logo on it. Any thoughts on some work shirts on the shop? Look, maybe C Henderson. Which you probably find out your first name, so stop calling you C. Um, maybe look, maybe some polos or something like that. I know the truck drivers have been bugging me for some polos going forward. Maybe with just some basic Narrain grain embroidery in some nice colours or something. That might be a good idea for another shirt. Some people don't like t-shirts. I get that. Yeah, maybe. Cal. Yeah, thanks, Cal. I'll see if I can remember that. Yeah, so that's about where I'm at with that one now. But yeah, the t-shirts have come up really good. They're from Beck at Desperado Co. So if you're following along, she tells me she's made over or printed over 100,000 shirts in a time. So she's pretty good at it. Yeah, she's a bit of a free spirit, that one. But yeah, no, she's very good. Um, I had more plans for more shirts. I just gotta think them up, have a nice slogan or whatever on them, or a nice picture or something on them. It's always a bit of a tough one. Um, to be honest with you, I've got a lot of merch and whatever here that's sort of sitting here ready to go. Um, yeah, I'm happy to just keep selling what we've got. I'm not in any rush. But yeah, just having a bit of a look. Yes. Probably go for another 10 minutes or so. How much capacity will the extensions on the header give you? Good question, Gavin. So they should go from 16,400 litres to 18,000 and a little bit of change. It's like 18,070, I think it is. I'd have to go back on my phone to see exactly what that works out to be, but it was something like 13 ton of barley and 14 ton of wheat, I think it will hold at 80. I presume that to be at 80, which makes sense, yeah. So, yeah, they'll be pretty big. But idea is we could hopefully just run one chaser bin for most of the time and still have enough time when you unload one of the headers, then the other header, you'll be able to get down to a unload into a truck, then come back in time. Whether it works or not, we'll find out. Just depends how much is coming into the header. Like canola, no issues at all, but barley, wheat, you want to have your trucks pretty close, and you want to have someone pretty handy on the chase bin, and I think they'd keep up. I saw our bloke last year keep up to two red ones and one green one just in barley, so I think we'll make it. But if these green headers get steaming along like I'm hoping to punch them to this year, it'll that he'll have his work cut out for him for sure. Yeah. Anyway, that's the idea. That's the whole idea of going back from three headers back to two is try and just get in paddock efficiency up and just try and get them working as hard as possible with no delays. I found a lot of the time with three headers, you were sort of pulling back on the stick all the time, trying to slow down, just give you enough time for the bin to get you before the end of a run or whatever. Um, but yeah, so to answer your question there, Callum, the X9 will be running the same 50-foot front that's on the first, the X9, so they'll be the same width. And essentially, I have one header here and one header here, and just keep going like that all day. Hopefully, just run them next to each other on the bigger runs. Obviously, there's some paddocks and times and whatever that they'll be separate from each other, but the idea is just try and keep them running together, try and keep them running hard. I'm going to put Joe, I think, in the second header and someone pretty good. Not sure exactly who's going to take the main role of the chase spin at this stage, but someone pretty good in there, pulling out and getting rid of it as quickly as we can. Um, that's the plan. Hopefully, it'll work. Um, I think if we can do that, whatever we lost in capacity going from three headers back to two, we can gain in paddock efficiency, we needed. We figured out that the X9 was doing about 43% of the hectares in total over the whole season. So we're hoping going back to two headers instead of three, we can get it sort of up to that 50%. So we're covering the margin that we lost. Um, by getting rid of one header, but one less headers, one less headers fuel, it's one less headers drivers, it's probably one less chaser bin because sometimes we run two, one less setup time, running time, moving time, one less escort when you need to move them. It's just there's a lot of reasons to go back to two over three. um, in a big year, I think we'll probably may have to look at getting a contractor in at this stage this year. I don't think we'll need it, um, but more for the wheat and the barley. Again, I don't really want to do that though, because unless they've got a 50-foot front, it's just going to stuff up our in paddock efficiency again. So I really just want to run it as two, and that's what we're planning to do. Um, I was talking on it last week, but I'll talk on it again. The new combine automation. It's got predictive ground speed. So essentially, it uses uh, NDVI maps from made through the year that have been made through the year. It uses that as one sort of um, what do you call it metric to tell it how fast to go, and then it's got cameras on the front that look down at the crop too. And yeah, it will be hopefully pretty good. For those that just look at Wisey's comment down here, obviously we missed out on the live with Wisey here on YouTube. If you want to come and see us talking, he is a wizard on all things headers. Come and see us on TikTok if you haven't. If you're on TikTok, we will talk probably in great lengths, I'd say, about headers because we've been wanting to talk about that on the live on TikTok for a fair while. What's this channel about? What do you think it's about? Mohawk? You bloody idiot. Had a look at the and the crop biomass sensors. It's unbelievable tech. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So that's basically the cameras on the front, and then it uses the NDVI. And I was explaining this in the live last week, but I'll just go through it again because I can. Yeah, so basically, if you've got um, no work plans, if there's no work plan to see from Ops Center, it'll just use the forward cameras only, and it won't use the satellite views because there's no work plan. Obviously, work plan comes through NDVIs that come through Ops Center. Impaired visibility, it'll just use satellite views and no forward camera. Rolling terrain, it only uses the satellite views. It mustn't like the cameras on rolling terrain. And down crop and late season events like a rainfall or hail or something like that, it will just use the forward cameras only. So apparently it doesn't work on canola rows. It works on only on standing crop, which I thought they nearly could have got away with that with the satellite views. But the problem with windrows is they can be very sort of lumpy and unpredictable. You start getting going too quick, and next second it doesn't work quite properly. But they're pretty confident in their 50-foot fronts being able to do the job. So yeah, that should be. I'm hoping to sort of have it in my header. I usually run the lead header and have it in there, and then just sort of make Joe behind me try and keep up as best he can, if you can. Sometimes it doesn't matter. And sometimes it doesn't work, but or it might not work at all. But that's the plan anyway. I know we'll soon know more. You'll see it all on the channel going forward. Um, the blokes at Hutchin and Pierce generally are pretty they're pretty good at getting it all set up and going right for us. So yeah, should be pretty good. Anyway, guys, what are we up to? 7:43. I'm gonna go head over to TikTok at probably 8 o'clock. So I'll go for another 5 minutes here, and then I'll go. More fucking randoms in here. That's a good question there, Raf. I think it was Will again. Just hiding dudes here again. So we generally win rate canola for editing unless we can't. Wet weather generally at that time's a perfect example. I'm looking to move a little bit more into direct heading canola moving forward. Um, I think these 50-foot John Deere fronts are awesome. They are an absolute weapon in nearly everything. And from all accounts, the canola is no different. So I'm happy to have a crack at that um, moving forward. But yeah, just at this stage, I'm not going head and shoulders into anything. We're just going to do a little bit, maybe do one or two paddocks this year and see how it goes. See how much we lose, see how much we lose in like, wind events and that sort of stuff. I don't think I'm going to put mesh or anything on it. And because the mesh is nearly worth as much as the wind rowing. See how that goes. The other problem with direct heading that we usually find is it comes in a bit later than regular windrow, so windrow canola. So takes a little bit longer to come in. By then your barley's coming in. Then by then your wheat's coming. You're a week behind unless you windrow. But there's plenty of good reasons to direct head too. I think the X9s particularly handle it a lot better than um, Windroad Canola. Windroad Canola tends to block pretty quickly on your front and your feeder house. So yeah, that's one downside of it. But yeah, that's what it is. Let's have a mechanic on deck. No, we don't have mechanics. No, not generally. We generally are pretty good mechanics ourselves. We do have the O'Connors and Hutchin and Pierce generally look after us when it's anything sort of real technical on any computer or whatever. We're pretty good mechanics ourselves, though. To be honest with you, Callum, um, yeah, we can solve most things. But it's certain you get to a point of diminished returns um, when it comes to mechanicking. It's like there's a couple of these things. It's like you have a random sensor play up, or you can ring, particularly Hutch and Pierce got their tech site. It's pretty good, and you can use the tech site and ring them up and go. They'll give you the answer of how to actually fix it. So that's pretty good. But whether you thanks, thanks, bud. Yeah, so yeah, we can get away with a fair bit, but yeah, just depends. Here's one of the other ones. This is the last one left. Narrain Grain and a little Narrain Grain symbol on it. I don't know, that's right. It's got a bit of a oily smear on it. He likes to oil them up after he does the engraving on them. They're from Band Multi Tools and laser engraving on. They're on Instagram if you're interested. Uh, I think I should show this year the way the price was this year. Yeah, I think we will. We will probably do 1,500 bales of barley tailings is generally what we do. There, Will. Thanks for the question. That would be the one thing we would bale. We're probably going to do a little bit of contract baling. Usually we're corn planting by sort of end of September, into October. We don't have any early corn to put in this year. It's all late corn, so we will probably do a little bit of contracting instead. Try and make a little bit of cash off the baling. That's about what the plan is. Probably some cutting too. Just something to keep the boys rolling and keep things interesting. And yeah, that's the play at this stage. So if all things go well, if we start getting a little bit more rain here and there, and a little bit of rain in the catchment area, hopefully we can get some irrigation water. At this moment, it's really hard to buy irrigation water. It's almost impossible, actually. So um, we're having a little bit of trouble penciling any kind of corn growing in, but hopefully we can get something for sure. The plan is for 250 hectares. I was thinking it was going to be more like 100, but at this stage we're budgeting on 250. Budgeting hard with the price of water and the price of fertilizer, but it is still worth doing. Anyway, guys, I might leave it at that. If you want to go find us, grab a go and find us on TikTok. We will be over there with Wisey. I'm sorry to Wisey we didn't get him on the YouTube. Um, I might even take. I know I can get a download of a chat with Wisey, and I might chuck it up as a separate video from TikTok. So if you look out for that, you can see how I talk with Wisey. Um, yeah, that should be very good. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, come over to TikTok. I'll be there at 8 o'clock, and we'll go from there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the questions there, Callum and Will. Who's bloody done well in a sea of. I'm just looking back, deleted messages. Righto, catch us.